Okay, class, so some quick observations about our second week. We talked a lot about audiences this week and how we respond to content producers' output. When we're talking about the way audiences interact with the media, there are a lot of theories that have been put forward by scholars. The current thinking is that audiences interact with content producers to come to a conclusion about content produced on the internet in an interactive way. In the past, scholars have believed that audiences accept pretty much verbatim what content producers give us, but again, this is not really how we think about it today. Today, we think of audiences as active, which is to say that we as consumers interact with media artifacts and take into account our own culture, our daily lives, and our life experience, and this affects the way we react to media content. Basically, we come to new media technology in one of three ways. It's more complicated and nuanced than this, but for simplicity's sake, we can look at it as three reactions: a preferred reading, a negotiated reading, and an oppositional reading. With a preferred reading, we accept what the content producers give us with little or no change. Or with a negotiated reading, we accept some of what content producers give us, but we use our own experiences to inform us about other aspects of the content. Finally, there is the oppositional reading, where we completely reject the intended meaning of the content and come to a different meaning based upon our life experiences. With a preferred reading, we accept what the content producers are giving us with little or no change. Or with a negotiated reading, we accept some of what content producers give us, but we use our own experiences to inform us about other aspects of the content. Finally, there is the oppositional reading, where we completely reject the intended meaning of the content and come to a different meaning based upon our life experiences. So, in a nutshell, this is primarily how scholars look at the way audiences receive television, film, music, etc. Now, with the internet, we receive information much more directly than we have in the past. We can read or we can watch content right away, or we can download it or save it to our devices or watch it on demand whenever we have an internet connection. We also have the media content available to us 24 hours a day. So we as consumers on the internet can be looked at as what would be called prosumers, individuals who both consume and produce media. Now this term is derived from prosumption, which itself was a dot-com era business term at the beginning of the 21st century, meaning production by consumers. It applies to the fact that we as audiences create our own media and contribute to production, thereby generating our own audiences. The real power of the audience lies in being able to take part in the media production process. And we see this exemplified all over the internet, but particularly on social media. 21st century audiences create their own distribution systems with little mediation from institutions or corporations. Websites like YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and others offer new possibilities for audiences. So in the end, it's what we do and what we spend our money on that gives us as audiences value and, to a certain extent, power. Think about how audiences are influenced by new media technologies. New media technologies in turn influence audiences and institutions. In other words, it's a reciprocal relationship. So as we go forward, keep in mind that the process of interaction on the internet is a complex process. It's a nuanced process. Think deeply about the way that you as an individual consume media and all of the stakeholders present in that process. Do try to bring in the readings and videos to inform your discussion. When I'm looking at your posts, this affects your grades just as much as what else you write. So finally, I want to remind everyone again about deadlines. Remember, you get penalized if you don't turn your assignment in on time. A few of you have not turned in any assignments or very few assignments. I will accept them, but you will be penalized. So you need to keep in mind that when you're trying to figure out how you're going to navigate the course going forward, those deadlines are very important. You want to be able to get your full credit. Look to the assignments tab or the modules tab so you can keep yourself informed about upcoming assignments. Always check the announcements for any new developments. Most of you turned in very thoughtful posts to the discussion questions. I appreciate that. Keep up the good work. It's an exciting time to be in new media technology, particularly for you as the younger generation and going forward as media professionals. The coronavirus is accelerating a lot of this innovation. And so we want to be able to take advantage of that by increasing our knowledge about new media technology and the way it affects us and the way we affect it. Take care.